Alright, let's get straight into the video. What is Buff Floki? In simple terms, the developers of the project describe the token as the buff version of Floki Inu. Buff Floki coin seeks to impress his brother by showing his new improved transaction speeds and adorableness. He is hyperdeflationary with static reflection that rewards holders. So, more Buff Floki coins are being automatically added to your wallet with each transaction. Simple love, pet, and hold as 2% from each transaction is automatically redistributed to Buff Floki holders. Now, before we go in depth into Buff Floki, I'd like to share with you some market predictions, specifically about the meme coin market as predicted by crypto analysts and experts. As you can probably tell, Buff Floki is a meme coin, a flavor of cryptocurrencies people tend to find off-putting. If you're one of those, however, you might want to hold off before writing off the sector of the market entirely. The Nasdaq blog reports that internet culture has long been synonymous with memes. However, 2021 has seen the emergence of meme investing across both Wall Street and the world of cryptocurrency. Today, two meme coins, Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, are present in the top 10 coins by market capitalization, and with ever-improving communication between investors, we may see meme investing explode further in 2022. But why are investors taking such a strong liking to meme coins? After all, as most people like to argue, they have no real-world use. Well, something most fail to acknowledge is the fact that a sense of community turbocharges retail investing. It would appear that retail investors have realized this and are using it to their advantage. So, it's no surprise that meme coins like Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, and Floki Inu have performed as well as they have. The token, like most Shiba tokens, recorded unprecedented growth in October, especially with Elon Musk's tweets about his puppy, which only served to pump the token like crazy. And although the token is now shedding a lot of those gains just like Shiba Inu and other meme coins like it, the price predictions for this token are looking really good. Since Buff Floki is looking to be a buff version of Floki Inu, it's important to go over Floki Inu to see how it works and how Buff Floki intends to top its act. So, if you didn't know, the idea for Floki Inu came after Elon Musk declared that he would name his puppy Floki. Like many other similar projects, the developers of Floki Inu hope to ride the wave of Elon Musk's bullish tweets about meme coins. So far, the plan looks like it is working somewhat. But time would have to tell how long this would last, especially considering that Musk's power over the crypto market seems to be waning. But then again, the Floki Inu dev team appears to be working hard to give the token real-world utility, with tons of use cases including gaming and an educational platform. Anyway, Floki Inu holders have the opportunity to earn Floki tokens just by holding.
Acredita, bota pra virar, tá no forno, bora cozinhar, vem comigo pra fortificar.
The project distributes 4% of all transactions to Floki holders. Apparently, 4% is not a fixed figure, and this might increase in the future if the project decides to do an upgrade. Floki Inu is also hyperdeflationary. This means that a rise in the size of the burn wallet will also increase the reflectionary rewards for Floki holders. Gradually, the decline in circulating supply increases the demand for Floki and its price. If you didn't understand anything I just talked about, this describes tokenomics. It gives developers a way to encourage the hodling of a token while providing holders with an opportunity to earn rewards for doing nothing else but hodling. Now, to make this happen, developers have to include a transaction fee with the use of their tokens. A part of that fee is then redistributed to holders. Most projects keep their transaction fee around 10%, with about 5% redistributed to holders. However, for Floki Inu, the transaction fee is 12%. As explained on the website, the team has said that it decided to forego the huge taxes and instead focus on rewards of 2% for all Buff Floki holders as well as smaller transaction slippage. The team explains that there is a rise in the number of reflection tokens on the Binance Smart Chain, but without much success. Hence, they have decided to forego huge taxes for their project. Anyway, all of this means that Buff Floki holders will earn more tokens just by hodling, which will present a good incentive to get people to buy into the project, especially if the team is able to create a sufficient use case for the token. As more people get into the project, transaction volumes will increase, which will naturally increase the amount of earned in reflections. Early investors especially will be rewarded by this, which is why it is always a good idea to get into a project early. Of course, that should be after you have done your own research. But back to the transaction fee. This fee is split 3 ways, with 2% going to holders, as I have explained. Another 4% will go into a marketing wallet, which will help to promote the token so that it gets more investors. The project's developers believe that Buff Floki is going to be enjoying a lot of pumps thanks to Musk's bullish tweets. While that remains yet to be seen, it is great that the project has a wallet set aside for marketing, as any project that will do well has to effectively be marketed. Floki Inu, the token which Buff Floki will be following after, is currently doing some aggressive marketing. According to CoinGate, the London public transportation system has been flooded with ads of Floki Inu. Tube stations, buses, and trains in London have seen physical adverts with the slogan, "Miss Doge, get Floki." The developers specifically said, to keep momentum moving, Floki Inu is assaulting the market with very targeted and aggressive marketing campaigns. These advertising campaigns will run together and will be a full-out assault of the London public transportation. Allegedly, the team has a budget of about $1.5 million for advertising alone. Unsurprisingly, the token was able to record the crazy gains it did in October, with future projections for the token looking quite mouthwatering. An ample marketing budget will definitely do Buff Floki some good, especially since it is still a young project. Anyway, the final portion of the fee will be going back to the buyback and liquidity pool. This is a way of removing tokens from circulation without necessarily destroying them completely through burning. When project developers buy back tokens, scarcity is introduced, which raises the price of the token. But since the tokens haven't been permanently destroyed, they can be reintroduced into the market whenever the developers decide. Speaking of liquidity pools, the liquidity pool of Buff Loki has been locked for 78 years. That's a pretty reassuring step for a project. Although it's not as long as Floki Inu, which has its liquidity pool locked for hundreds of years, 78 years is still quite reassuring. At least, investors can be sure that their monies are not at the mercy of the developers. Does that mean that Buff Loki will not be coming with burn? Not at all. Buff Loki has a huge supply of 100 quadrillion tokens, which means that burn is quite important to bring down supply so that the value of the token can grow. First off, whenever a transaction occurs, 4% of tokens will be burned. Secondly, the team will also be organizing regular manual burns. But to make sure that burns are massive, with each new burn event, the team will be burning twice as many tokens as they did in the previous burn event. A pretty solid plan if you think about it. So, Buff Loki will begin the first burn with 10 million tokens. By the 11th cycle, the team would have burned about 10.24 billion tokens, and the burn cycle is going to continue until the end, as the team put it. Buff Loki has been listed on PancakeSwap, so if you want to buy this token, that's where you'd have to go. But don't forget to do your own research first. This video does not constitute financial advice in any way or form. So please ensure that you do your own research and remember that the crypto market is extremely volatile. It's important to go in only with money that you can afford to lose, as markets crash all the time. So, with that said, let me know what you think about the project in the comment section. I sure would love to hear from you. As usual, all the relevant links will be in the description so you can check out the project for yourself. Thank you.